Oh, hello there. I was just enjoying a nice vintage French Bordeaux. My name is Cal, and this video is going to be about the lackluster failures of the Marvel movies, The Avengers. Now, I don't want you to think that I'm a Marvel hater, because I certainly am not. I'm a huge Avengers fan. In fact, the very first comic book subscription I got as a child was for The Avengers. One of my favorite books as a kid was my Marvel Treasury Edition number 7, which had 4 great Avengers stories. The first appearance of the Vision, Black Panther joining the Avengers, a wedding issue, and Femme Fatale. And when the Avengers movie came out, I was very excited. I had been waiting 30 years for this movie, only to be disappointed. So I'm going to set up my argument using a more definite example. Many years ago, I bought a DVD of some old Superman cartoons from the 1950s. In every episode on the DVD, Superman was saving people and towns from natural disasters, like floods and earthquakes and such. And I said, where's Lex Luthor, or Brainiac, or Mentallo, or Bizarro, or any supervillain? Nope, there were none. Now I understand the writers might make a story once in a while where there are no villains, and the heroes still save the day, but not every single story. Superheroes need their supervillains, and as fans, that is what we crave. For example, that is one of the reasons I loved the cartoon Super Friends as a kid. There were plenty of villains in every episode. So we come to the first Avengers movie. I knew Loki was in the movie, which I thought was nice since he was the villain in the very first Avengers comic. But I assumed Loki would bring along, I don't know, maybe the Enchantress or the Executioner or a cabal of other villains. At the time, Marvel did not own the movie rights to some of the usual cabal members, such as Doctor Doom, White Queen, Submariner, Magneto, etc. They could have filled out the cabal with Red Skull, the Leader, Mandarin, Kang, Count Nefaria, or so on. So I watched the first Marvel movie, and who do they battle? A bunch of space aliens, and some big space worms for Hulk and Thor to beat on. Quite the disappointment for me. A few years pass, and the second Avengers movie comes out, The Age of Ultron. To give you some background, Ultron started out as a wily robot scheming behind the scenes and harassing the Avengers. Later, he would get a robot made of adamantium, the same unbreakable metal as Cap's shield and Wolverine's claws, and then Ultron alone would fight toe-to-toe with all of the Avengers. But the movie did not have this ultra-strong adamantium Ultron type, and Ultron easily lost in fights to the Avengers. And again, there were not any other various supervillains, just lots and lots of robots for cannon fodder. In the comics, the story The Age of Ultron was set in the future, with Ultron's rule over the Earth lasting many years. In the movie, The Age of Ultron, Ultron ruled over nothing, and his rule lasted less than a week. So we move on to our third Avengers movie. At this point, they've had 7 to 10 Avengers and only 2 villains. And I'm not counting the brief cameo of Thanos as a villain. The third Avengers movie is Infinity War. Now, many more heroes join the Avengers for this movie, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, and the Guardians of the Galaxy. However, does the number of villains increase? Not really. Sure, Thanos has 3 or 4 weird underlings with him, but the big battle is between the mighty Avengers and dogs. Alien dogs. Alien multi-legged dogs. That is who the Avengers are fighting. Not the various incarnations of the Masters of Evil, nor the Wrecking Crew, nor the Squadron Sinister, not the Serpent Society, not the Dark Avengers, not even the Circus of Crime, for Pete's sakes. Dogs. The mighty Avengers are fighting dogs. I waited 30 years to see the Avengers fight dogs. And the last Avengers movie was Endgame, and my last chance to get what I thought all of comic fans deserved. And it turned out to be just a silly time heist movie full of continuity errors, with a battle royale at the end, with Thanos being the only real villain. And sure, Thanos is tough enough to stand up to a team of Avengers, but the final scene turned into a confusing battle royale like the Battle of the Five Armies in Lord of the Rings. In comparison, DC's movie The Justice League did not fare much better. No supervillain team for them to fight. Only one bad guy and a bunch of evil alien bugs called parademons, with no classic Justice League villains to be seen. In retrospect, the X-Men movies were a little better, but still hit and miss. The first had a small team of villains, but the second was mostly soldiers. Then the third had a large gang of dastardly mutants. And First Class and Apocalypse had small teams of villains. But Days of Future Past had the X-Men fighting robots, or each other. When the first Avengers movie came out in 2012, it was the third most grossing movie of all time. But was it really that good? Earth's mightiest heroes fighting nameless space alien cannon fodder. Is it too much to ask to have them battle an actual team of supervillains? Anyway, that's my argument, and I'd love to hear your comments. Hope you enjoy the rest of your evening.